CJ Stroud, rightfully so, is considered one of the best quarterback draft prospects in the 2023 NFL draft. Quite a mouthful, but at the end of the day, the man gets the job done, and he's gotten the job done over the last couple of years at Ohio State for the Buckeyes. And, a former four-star recruit coming out of Rancho Cucamonga High School. Once again, a four-star guy. I know I'm not even getting that name even close to correct, but hey, we're trying out here. But, obviously, him and Bryce Young probably going to be kind of a 1A and 1A type situation. I know that Will Levis out of Kentucky is another guy that a lot of people have their eye on, and I get it. But at the end of the day, there is no doubt that CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are the two top quarterbacks in this draft class, especially with their level of competition, their production, what they put out on tape, and quite honestly, just how they perform. So CJ Stroud, in 2020, sat behind Justin Fields. I mean, come on, Justin Fields was he was a hand. He was an absolute hand over there for the Buckeyes. But then in 2021, got his start as a redshirt freshman, came out and threw for over 4,400 yards, as well as 44 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Completed nearly 72% of his passes, really just absolutely balled out. Came back his sophomore year. Or junior year, came out and had a total of 3,688 passing yards, as well as 41 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, completed 66.3% of his passes. And he's one of those quarterbacks that when you watch him on tape, he's just so fluid, and I think that kind of plays in to the NFL quarterback that he's going to be. And you talk about the pros, you watch him on tape, he drops passes right in the bucket, like in terms of arc, in terms of distance, like there's no worrying about it, especially when you incorporate his neck strength there, which is arm strength, kind of one of those things where he drops it in the bucket. He's got the ability to throw any pass on the field, whether it be outside the numbers, whether it's a 9 route, whatever it is over the middle. He can absolutely get the ball to your playmakers. He's got everything that you want in terms of arm strength. He can throw the ball anywhere on the field. It's not a problem for him. And like I said, he's got perfect or at least near perfect touch on some of those touch passes to make them just look absolutely fantastic. I think he really is kind of one of the better prospects in that regard to come out in the last couple of years. He stands and delivers. He stands in the pocket. He is kind of like a tree in there. He's kind of just stands in there, delivers the throws that he needs to make. And I do think that he is going to be one of those quarterbacks that, probably might go to a team like the Indianapolis Colts or maybe the Texans. Who knows at this point? You're going to want to get him good protection, because I do think that, that dual threat aspect, or that aspect of maybe not having a good offensive line, might hinder him, but we'll get into that in a second. But he does stand and deliver, and he's not afraid to take a hit if he has to. Timing, anticipation, you'll see him on tape. He really does a great job of delivering throws in kind of getting his receivers out there. Now, there's a difference between throwing a guy open and just throwing to a spot, and I think that CJ Stroud does a great job of doing both, but he really does it, puts it in a place, puts the ball into place for his wide receivers to make a play on it, and it's hard to teach that, but he does it consistently, and we kind of alluded to that, how he drops passes into the bucket there. And finally, I think he's a natural passer. He's fluid. It's kind of almost unfair. Like, he just does it so easily. It's effortless. And if you watch him, you're just in awe because of how much of an athlete, how fluid it looks, and how easy it looks. It's just kind of, it's kind of one of those things where it is what it is. But cons, you do kind of wonder about his dual threat ability in the NFL these days. If you have a quarterback that can scramble, usually that bodes well for your team. I just don't know if he's a dual threat kind of guy. I do think he can scramble, but like we said, he's probably going to go to a team that really doesn't have a good offensive line right now, or at least a below average one. So the question is, how will he be able to adapt? Will he be able to, be able to get away from some of these new edge rushers that it seems like they get faster and faster every year? But how will he fare? Can he get away from it? And can he find a way to be at least a player that people have to respect in terms of running the football? Leadership, this isn't necessarily something that I don't see him as like a bad person or anything. I just, when you're coming out like this and you watch him on tape, he's not really a fiery competitor. Like, he's not Johnny Manziel. Like, that's a good thing in his favor. But I question, especially in the quarterback position, you have to be kind of, I don't want to say boisterous, but you have to be out there. You got to be willing to get in, and also not necessarily getting guys face, but you have to be a leader. You have to be able to rally your team. You have to be able to get them behind you and be able to play for you. And I don't think that is a weakness for CJ Stroud necessarily. I just would like to see him be a little bit more loud and boisterous. But at the same time, you've seen guys like Lamar Jackson. You've seen guys out there, that can actually get a team around them that don't have to be loud and boisterous. So not necessarily a fault for CJ Stroud. It's just going to be interesting to see how he leads as a leader for his future NFL team. So, but that's it. That's our 2023 NFL draft profile for quarterback CJ Stroud. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truly awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about our 2023 NFL draft profile for quarterback CJ Stroud.